12 legends are returning for Discovery Channel's new series, Naked and Afraid, Last One Standing. Sarah Bartell and Matt Wright, two of the most experienced stars on the show, joining me now. Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, thank
Definitely.
you.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure to be here.
Sarah, did you know you were going to South Africa, or was it like being part of the show and you had no idea where you were going to end up?
I mean, we know really shortly like how, where we're actually going to be. So they told us a general area, and then it just starts to get narrowed down the closer we get to, the D-Day, really. So this was such a fascinating one. I really enjoyed the location that we filmed at, and I was just so excited to be back in Africa.
Matt, let's talk a little bit about what we can expect on the show because people are working in teams. You're not getting any tools off the bat. It is. I was watching it at the edge of my seat. I usually do, but more so on this series.
Yeah, this is a whole different thing. This is a first of its kind. So first you start out with nothing but your necklace, a satchel, no tools, no items to survive. You have to actually find those and work with those and work to get those. And because of that, you are now just like the most ill-prepared you could be. But you also are realizing that you are tied to your partner now for 21 days. If your partner taps out, you have to tap out. And because of that, that first 21 days is already stressful, but you know that you have 45 days if you want to be the last one standing for the first ever to get a prize of $100,000. And so the survival on this one is every aspect.
Sarah, are you hoping to get somebody who is similar to you in your personality, or someone who has maybe some different skills so that you can work better as a team? I'm going to ask you the same question, Matt. But what are you kind of hoping as far as like who you might get paired up with?
I think the biggest thing in a challenge like this, especially starting off with nothing, is that you want a partner who's going to have a positive attitude. That more than anything else is going to ensure you'll make it past that first 21 days. And after that point, you're no longer tethered to that person. So your fate is separated from theirs.
What about for you, Matt?
I would agree. It's positivity, good mental aspect, and strength on a challenge like this is going to be huge. I also like to have a partner that's willing to go out and try to accomplish the impossible, meaning they have that inspiration to push themselves out there. And only time will tell if we get partners like this.
I'm not sure who might be able to answer this, but one thing I was fascinated by is that you're given a map, you're trying to find different things before it gets dark, as far as like pots and pans and a fire starter and different types of weapons. But there has to be an intern or a PA or somebody who has to go place those things there. Do you know who that person is and what their job is like?
I have no idea who that person is, but I want to shake their hand and buy them a beer because they're pretty ballsy for going out there and doing that kind of stuff ahead of us.
Yeah, we're out there surviving it. How some things happen, it is beyond even what we can figure out.
Yeah.
It's, when we get to see the very first episode, which I got a chance to preview, you see snakes, you see different types of creatures, you see, your bare feet on the ground where you may not have, been before. What makes you the most afraid, or what do each of you have to like mentally block out just to like, eye on the prize where you're like, okay, I can't look because I know I'm gonna get myself freaked out. Sarah.
I think the hardest part, yeah, honestly, the hardest part for me is being away from home. It's not what's right there in front of me because that's easy to focus on. It's the other stuff in the back of my mind that I'm worrying about. Are all my animals safe and fed? Is, my family missing me? How are my friends doing? That's the kind of stuff that I have to banish from my mind.
What about for you, Matt?
And for me, it's always the small stuff. I always say if I can't shoot it with an arrow, then it kind of worries me a little bit. It's the bacterias, the potential for injury or something you can't actually see that you really don't have control of, and those things terrify me every time. And that's the only way I find myself really naked and afraid. There's lots of things out there that you can't see.
That you can't see, especially when it gets dark outside. Matt, you said you had a target on your back. You obviously, with so much experience, and that people are trying, that you may be the one to beat, or people are looking at see what's your strategy going to be. How do you go into a show like this knowing that not all 12 players are kind of competing for the same thing, that people are also like taking a look at you like, and there's this target on your back?
You know, it's as through all these challenges, I guess I've earned the title of being able to have a target on my back. So I take that in stride and challenge anyone who wants to try to knock me off of that track. And with a challenge like this, I still have to be myself. I still have to go out there, but I do know that that any chance someone could try to do something to sabotage that. And now it's not just the snakes, not just the predators, but it's also that weasel or that snake in the grass.
Oh, exactly. And Sarah, final thing here before we go. As far as your hobby farm and people learning, some of the skills that you share there, what is something, especially, with technology kind of taking over our world now, that people are hoping to get from the experiences that you share with them, and hoping that a lesson that maybe you hope that they can come away with?
That's a really good question. I think that bravery is a really big part of it. Sometimes you're interested in learning more about a particular topic, but you feel like you just don't have the basis of education to, go into it. I say, regardless of what you think you do or don't have, give it a try, because you're going to learn through experience.
Amazing. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for your time today. Naked Afraid, Last One Standing, coming to us on Discovery Channel.